Welcome to Lady Blackbird, the show where everything's made up and the points don't matter. We are on session 2, and my lovely players, Sean, Logan, and Abby, will all be playing tonight. We have Sean as Kale, our tricksy mechanic, light-fingered mechanic.
There we go. That's a kind way to put it. Light, sticky-fingered, maybe.
Tricky is one of your traits.
Wow.
And then we have Logan as Snargle, our daredevil goblin pilot. And Abby is playing our lead character, Lady Blackbird, in disguise. Also, the lady who likes to shock things is the moral of the story.
The real session. MO, yeah.
Miss Shocky Boom Boom over there.
Shocky, yeah, Sparky Boom Boom. Does anybody feel like recapping last session for like 2 sentences, or no? Pass.
I can recap. Okay. So we woke up in like a semi-jail room thing on a large ship. And then I convinced the guards of this room. It's a hand of sorrow. I convinced the guards to take us to the captain. So they took us to the captain, and then we spent 2 hours interacting with the captain.
We promptly killed.
And eventually killed him.
There were some interesting rolls.
And then we ran down to the engine room in an attempt to sabotage, failed the sabotage, and then we stole fuel barrels. We struggled to steal fuel barrels.
Yeah.
But we ended up stealing them, loaded them onto our ship, and took off. And Snargle did some evasive maneuvers into an asteroid belt around us.
Perfect. Does everybody remember basics of mechanics?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be good.
And I thought
Sean was the mechanic.
Mechanic in quotation marks.
Yeah, I'm in charge of all the mechanics, so I'll just change them as I see fit along the way.
Perfect.
I did want to remind you guys that if you get up to 5 XP, you can level up anytime during the session. So you don't have to wait for downtime. You can just, evolve like the Pokemon that you are. And then you also get twice the XP if one of your keys gives you trouble. So I don't think we played into that much last time. But if your key gives you, puts you in danger, or gives you kind of like an added obstacle, you can take twice the XP, or you can take 2 die instead of XP.
The second the opportunity presents itself, I will be putting myself in danger to acquire valuable objects.
Perfect.
Sarah, so last time you were like, you can hit your key to get XP like a number of times per session, right?
I think I limited you only because yours was how many times you make us laugh.
Yeah. But okay, is that like when you hit it, you can do XP or to your pool? Am I also limited on pool?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the confidence.
Yes. You got that whole special trait anyway with your pool where you get to keep it all anyway, so I don't feel too bad about that.
That's true, yeah.
Love you. It's gonna be great. So cool. I think that was all that I wanted to remind us of. And yeah, you are now on the Owl. You have briefly bought yourself some time from the Hand of Starro thanks to Snargle's 500-meter drop and quick maneuvering. So you still have to go reach a destination, either Haven or Nightport. And you also need to figure out how to use that fuel, since it's, mysterious. We don't know what it's for. So that is where you're at.
Sarah, can you give us an overview of Haven and Nightport so we know our options?
Oh, for sure. So Haven, which is I put a little kind of green square on the wild blue map just so you could see how close you were to things. You are closest to Haven. Haven is like a free city. You can kind of think of it as like a trade planet. It has basically covered in different sorts of guilds, and you know that there are a lot of freed slaves who live in Haven. So it's separate from the Empire of Elysium, and it's kind of like the first big port once you get into the free worlds. So there's a lot of trade there. You know that the Imperial, the Empire doesn't have as much power, and I'm sure there's lots of interesting characters you could run into on Haven. And then Nightport is just a little bit farther away, and it is a city of scoundrels. It's on a planet that does not rotate, so it is built kind of like on the dark side of the planet, so it's perpetually dark. And who else would live in a perpetually shaded city but the worst scoundrels and pirates in the verse?
I would like to say I appreciate John Harper just putting Duskfall in this game also.
This is like proto Duskfall.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I really like Nightport. Let's make a whole game about Nightport in another place, where instead of the skies being scary, it's the oceans that are scary. So yeah, that's Nightport. So I bet you could meet tons of smugglers, tons of piratical associates, etc., etc. Kale, that might be a good question for you. That was one of my questions, is where do you guys usually do business? What do you smuggle usually? Where do you have a kind of a safe haven where you can sell your goods? Is there one? Isn't there one? How does that work?
I think the ship I think we just pick up anything we can possibly get, because we're not the biggest crew or the nicest ship necessarily. We're maybe specialized in our we've perfected our little piece of flying crap.
As the ship mechanic, you are not very loving of the owl.
I love it, but I always want to improve it. So
okay.
I understand that it always needs work. And I'm the one who has to do almost all of that work. So it's a love-hate relationship. So I think we just grab anything and everything. I think we've done work with Nightport before, but it's generally untrustworthy. So you have to be really careful what jobs you take from them. But they can pay really good. And then Haven, we do work. And that's probably more of our home base, but we keep a pretty low profile because what's his name again?
Uriah Flint?
No, Vance. Captain Vance is ex-Imperial, so even though the Empire doesn't have a ton of influence in Haven, it could still be a problem. Mm-hmm. So we keep a low profile even on Haven. So yeah,
would you say you have
our
contacts?
Home is the ship. Yeah. Oh, we definitely have contacts in Haven, and probably at least one or two semi-trusted contacts in Nightport.
Cool. So yeah, you guys have to decide between those two berths, essentially, and you could roll to see how you could try and see how far the gas will get you. And and that would answer that question. Or you could just decide it and see what happens.
So I have Haven as a tag, and then I also have Free Worlds. Is Nightport part of the Free Worlds?
Yes.
Okay.
I think once you get on that like right-hand half of the map, you're pretty much in the Free Worlds.
So Haven is also part of the Free Worlds?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm
Haven
better at getting
Nightport.
to Haven than I am at getting to Nightport.
Interesting.
Is that under Sky? It's under Sky Sailor. Interesting.
Well, I think we should start in Haven. I mean, our main goal, of course, is to get Lady Blackbird to Uriah Flint, which means we have to get a secret. The secret of the map through the fields to his secret base. So we can start in Haven, see where the leads are, and then, if need be, go to Nightport or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
And I can mess with this fuel maybe a little bit. See
so
what's
I would
up.
say, Logan, that would just be a 3 for Snargle to get to Haven. You're really close, and a 3 to see how, to like retrofit the fuel to get you there.
Okay, perfect. Whoops. What?
Should I do the gas?
Yeah, do the gas
the fuel first. Okay. So we get one base, and then I have engines, efficiency, spare parts. I think repair applies. I'm repairing this fuel.
I'm going to say you can either have spare parts or repair.
You're making a new fuel blend, so you have to
How is that repairing?
I'm repairing our engine because usually it gets much worse fuel. And this new fuel will be so good and high quality, it'll be like repairing the engine. This logic is flawless.
Now.
Okay, fine. All right.
You got a lot to roll with for a 3.
So I'm at
If it
4.
was harder, I would let you do it.
I'll use 2 from my pool. And that means I'll be at 6.
Okay.
Is that enough?
You have mechanic, engines, efficiency, sabotage. You should have, 6.
Does mechanic count as one? No, that's just the base.
Yeah.
You get 1 by default,
you get
one for the
trait.
base, and then 1 for each of the tags.
Yeah, the trait
base,
counts as a die.
Oh, so I'm at 5 then.
Yeah.
Because you get 1 mechanic, engine, efficiency, spare parts. Yeah, and I'll do 2 still, and then I'll be at 7. That sounds perfect. All right, we'll roll for 7 dice. All right, that's fine.
What?
0 successes. Just get my dice back real fast.
You get to add 1 too when you fail.
Wow. All right, starting out strong.
Okay.
Critical failure.
Okay, so what happens? Like, tell me how this plays out. Like, you try. What did you do to this fuel? Did it even get in? Is it because your arm's broken? Side note: your arm is still broken.
Fractured. Thank you very much. Broken. It's not at some odd angle. It is unusable though. And I think maybe it was like a special fuel or something. Yeah, so I'm just like struggling to get these barrels over to the engine room in the first place. Vance is helping me maybe, and then we like pop it open, and And I'm like expecting just the regular stuff or something just a little nicer that we usually treat the owl to when she's been good to us. And then this is like maybe it's a new fuel that they were prototyping and like testing or something.
There's like a skull and crossbones on the inside.
Right, right. I'm like looking at the serial number and I'm like, I've never heard of this shit in my life.
It's pure xylene.
And just I like maybe I put just a little bit into the owl and then it makes some like crazy noise, like it like just combusts just insane, and I'm like, there is no way the owl can handle this. And Snargle feels like the owl just like shudder and jot forward just like a teensy bit, and I'm just like, nope, okay, nope. Give her a little pat, and I'm like, I'm sorry, old girl, can't do it to you.
All right, how are you gonna let Snargle know? Do you have like an intercom?
Yeah, I think we have a ship intercom.
What was that?
Snargle, it's not looking good. I tried this new fuel and it may be a little strong for a wee old gal. She didn't take to it too kindly. So we any pit stops along the way to Haven? I'm not sure if we can make it.
Do I? I don't.
Snargle, I'll let you roll to see if you can make it to Haven on the fuel.
Yeah, okay. I'm a good.
Can I help him with efficiency, mechanic efficiency?
You can give him a die, yes.
Okay, so
yeah, I'll give you a die.
What?
You guys are like code name. Your challenge will be
3, so now it's probably harder, right?
It's probably harder, yeah. I'll say 4. I'll bump you up to 4. I feel like you've probably done this before.
Yeah.
But it's still a little hard.
Okay, so can I use, let's see. Does it make more sense to do Sky Sailor? Wait, okay, so we get 1 die as a base, right?
Correct.
And then
plus Sean's,
and then I can pick a trait and then a tag.
Correct. So, and as many tags as you can make work.
Sky Sailor, Free World's Haven.
Yeah.
Or I can do pilot maneuvering. No, maybe like navigation, maps.
I'll take either of those. I think
they're
it's
both
more
5 dice, so
it's just flavor at that point.
Okay.
You still do have the Hand of Sorrow like out there. Just keep that in mind.
Which I don't think we sabotaged at all.
You did not successfully sabotage the Hand of Sorrow. It is maybe not real. They have not realized yet, but.
Can I add on maintenance and maybe like I am like put the fuel in anyway? I know how to drive on anything.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Or if you wanted to make it pilot and make that a daring. Like I said, it doesn't matter. It's the same amount of die.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 6 and it's 4, so I'll do 1 from my pool. So 7. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of 1s.
It's like you really want to go on a 7, and you did.
Okay.
Oh, right. So,
this is going great.
Tell me, Snargle, Lady Blackbird, well, where are you when this is happening? Like you feel the ship shuddering.
Jolt and shudder as Kale like carefully pours in little teeny cups of this like just nitrous fuel.
Drop at a time.
Right? I'm just trying to keep like the steadiest little stream, like because I don't want it to shudder too much.
And you just hear Snargle over the intercom going, more.
I think maybe there are some like crew quarters down in that general area where the fuel is being added. So I'm just lounging in one of these hammocks that's hanging from the ship, like reading a book and kind of like laughing at Snargle as he's encouraging Kale.
And Kale's like, is never concerned.
No, she's not concerned.
Okay, Snargle. Oh, tell me what happens.
Yeah, so I think, Snargle's yelling at Kale to add in more. And then let's see, I don't know. I think it just like he's upset that Kale's not putting in more of the fuel at once. So he like rattles it down so that it's like sputtering a little bit. So Kale's like, oh god, it needs more fuel. And then he puts in more and I floor it and I think it just like floods the engine and just like explodes.
So the engine has died.
Yeah, I think so.
Fantastic.
So, Kale, when the engine dies, do you fall?
That's a great question. I think we definitely start losing altitude. I think the ships would have some kind of buoyancy effect, like reserve effect, like a reserve generator, because
that's what magnetrine ships in Tales from the Loop have.
Because if they fall into that second layer, they start to just fall apart. So I think they always have a limited amount of reserve with like a backup engine to maintain buoyancy dangerously close.
How long is your reserve?
Probably like an hour or two at most.
And I'm assuming that you're just like steadily descending.
Yeah, and so it just slowly descends.
You can't like accelerate or decelerate. You're just like.
I mean, anything you already have going is going.
Okay.
Kale, you two
Snargle!
What have you done?
What are you doing? I told you it was too strong for that engine.
She could handle it.
No, she obviously couldn't. Now it's my problem to fix.
It's been your problem.
You dumb goblin. Keep to your piloting. Look out for any ships following us.
Are you
I'll try and fix
in
this.
The room with me, Abby, or are you back in
No, I'm down with Kale. Kale, how do you feel about the ship running on electricity?
Why are you in the engine room instead of in the...
Because I decided there's a hammock.
Because Lady Blackbird, where there's a problem, Lady Blackbird is there.
There to solve it with
drawn
lightning.
To like electricity for the solution of all problems. Oh my gosh. Kale gives you
wind power.
a little bit of a stink eye and is like, well, Lady Blackbird, I think that I will try my other options first before maybe attempting to electrocute the entire metal ship as well as
sounds like a great
currently
idea.
broken engines. And then he pushes you out of the engine room, slams the door with his good hand, and starts...
No, I think you open the door to push her out, and Snargle's there, and he walks into the engine room, too.
Snargle! Get out of my sight before I punch you across this ship, you damn menace!
Who's flying the ship?
It's just cruising on its own.
It's
no engine anyway.
Alright. Snargle.
I'm gonna wander up to the pilot's seat.
Perfect.
What you gonna do there, boo?
Just gonna keep watch. I mean, I assume that it's like encased in glass, so I can just look out and see what's happening.
Yeah, you probably have like a 270-degree view.
Yeah.
Snargle,
press some buttons, maybe.
Are you gonna let Lady Blackbird up there, or are you gonna bug Kale?
I'm gonna bug Kale.
Or something else. Okay, bug Kale.
Okay, I'm going to try and jerry-rig a solution to whatever is ailing our engines. I will use... This is what I was made for. I will use mechanic repair engines efficiency and spare parts, because I will procure a brand new engine.
Just a whole new engine.
I open up my coat and it's like a cartoon. Yeah, it's like this giant engine block. I will procure like a little bit of like a special engine sealant that I saw when we were in the Hand of Sorrow's engine room, and I snagged while no one was looking. Because I was like, we always need some of this stuff. Works great for sealing like fuel leaks and all sorts of other stuff. And in a pinch, whatever else you need it to do, because you're in a pinch.
Because you're in a pinch. Okay, I'll give you a 4, since, like you said, that was what you're made to do. But, a 4 because
I'll help
semi-dire straits.
I will demand that Snargle help me.
You only have one working arm anyway.
Throw him into the engine to fix it from the inside out.
Snargle, what color are you at this moment in time?
Like my normal color, but I'm slowly turning more and more red.
Is red a good sign or a bad sign?
Well, who knows?
Who knows? Okay.
We'll see if this works or not.
So I'm at a 6 base, and then I've got 1 help from Snargle.
Yeah.
And then I'll use 3 of my pool.
Perfect.
To bring me up to 10.
Yeah.
Because Kale's desperate. Do we think that's enough? Should I bump it to 11?
Just spend them all.
Never enough.
I'll bump it up to 11. So I'll use 4, half of my pool. Ugh, and
I freaking needed it.
Die. It was literally the last die that gave me that.
Wow.
Okay. So, Kale, what are you just like talking to the engine?
I deserve experience from that. I think, like I said, the engine, it's probably really hot, but I really do want to just stuff Snargle in there and yell at him to fix things from the inside. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm like checking on things from the outside. Like I said, fixing any like leaks, fuel leaks, things that might have exploded, come loose. I've got a wrench, and in my one good hand, I'm just like banging parts that have been dented out back in. And then praying that it doesn't take us too long to get this all done. And yeah, just making the best of things. Fantasy duct tape is everywhere.
I imagine like the lights flicker off, and then like everything flickers back on, kind of a thing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I give her like a little bit of fuel in our main engine just to test and see if everything's working. And I pour sealant on whatever the opening for the special fuel is, because I'm like, never again.
Okay, so
it cannot be reused.
Special fuel is not an option.
It's not an option for adding to the owl. Always an option as a potential explosive weapon.
Okay.
So now we have some bombs.
Lads.
Yeah.
Snargle, do I turn this lever to go? Should we go?
No. Come down here.
Okay.
Cyrus Vance is like, I'll go get her.
I don't want her in my seat. And then he's gonna run all the way upstairs.
I'm running down.
We pass each other.
Yeah, running down
She's
the stairs.
just like whistling with her hands behind her back.
Skipping down.
I wasn't touching anything.
I'm innocent.
All right, boyos. We can. I'll let you re-roll to get to Haven.
Oh boy. Okay, great.
I'll let it still be a 4.
Would help anyhow. I'm running low on die.
Lady Blackbird.
Yeah. I'm not good at anything.
You can go cast some wind behind us.
Oh, is that what you want? You want to just like push our way back?
Yeah. Or you can
She's gonna airbend.
Just come up and blow wind on me and like cool me down so I can concentrate. As
Okay, yeah, I'll help you by doing that.
Okay, perfect.
You fall asleep at the wheel and I'll give you a little zap.
Overheat. Oh no zaps. No zaps.
It's blotting his forehead.
Last time you tried to gently zap somebody, you killed them. So no zaps.
I know better now.
Okay, then in that case, I'll use pilot this time. So one die. Are you helping me? You are helping me. Okay, perfect. Pilot. Gotta keep it steady because we're on low fuel. I gotta maneuver directly into the airstream so that they can help us and I can keep the throttle down, you know? I gotta navigate. And then I whip out our low fuel map.
That which we probably have made because this happens
we're
all
normally
the time.
running on empty.
This is
well trod ground.
So the air currents will take you where you need to go, and you don't have to use so much fuel.
I imagine we have a little fuel gauge, and it gets like to the E, and you're like, no, it can go below that.
Yeah.
There's actually a little piece of something in the way to make sure it never goes below a certain amount.
The light that comes on just has like tape over it.
Right.
We're fine. No, I think so. We have our routes we like to use because they're out of the way, but then our low fuel routes are not out of the way, but they're quicker.
So people could see you.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that was 7, and you said 4.
4, and I'll let you take daring because this is daring.
8. Do you think I can get 8 or 4 on an 8? I'll spend 2. 10.
Yeah,
should be fine.
No, I needed 11.
You needed 11? Okay, great. I'll spend 3 from my pool. This is gonna go great.
Well, remember, you can save your whole pool. You have that once lucky
once
break.
Per session, though.
Yeah.
Is it really important that we don't die in the air?
I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, boo.
Sure. I'll spend them all. 15 dice.
Okay.
Watch this.
Absolutely delicious.
Work. 9 successes. Great. Perfect.
Crushed it.
There you go.
Amazing. Okay, and then I get all of them back.
It's such a good thing.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Crazy.
I didn't want you guys to just be stranded in the air for like
to spend another 30 minutes going through this all again. The engine's broke. I fix it.
Yeah, so I think I'm flying it, and then like as the fuel gauge like hits empty, I like smack it, and it like goes back up to like halfway full, and then like that just keeps happening, and then eventually I just like I don't know, it goes like way below empty, and I'm like, oh, you're fine.
And Lady Blackbird, I know we talked about like needing blood to like make your magic work. How are you helping?
You're bleeding
with the
on
wind.
No, I'm not bleeding on you. I've just I've bit my tongue a little bit, and I'm like blowing on you. But it's a nice cool, refreshing breeze.
Oh, it smells like blood.
I imagine like half of it comes out red, and then the magic kicks in, and then it's like regular wind. So it's just like an ombre effect. Lady Blackbird. She's basically a pirate already.
Snargle's in the zone though, so he doesn't notice he's just being covered in blood mist.
Okay. So, where are we docking, Snargle? Where do you
probably have a port of call?
Yeah, what's your port of call? Tell me about it.
Oh.
Snargle and or Kale.
Yeah, I think it's okay, it's like a out of the way barn, but like when we get close to it, like the roof like opens up, and then we can just like I just hover over it, and then like
is this Futurama?
Yeah, and then we like fall like 50 feet into it, but there's just I don't know, something to catch our fall. Maybe there's a bunch of hay or something. This barn's very out of place. It's just in the middle of downtown.
Are there animals in the barn, or is it just a fake?
No, it's a ship. There's an owl in the barn. The barn owl.
Perfect.
We're all about theme here.
Yep.
It's all very thematic.
Excellent.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So you dock. And you guys gotta figure out where you're going next.
Do we have
Lady
fuel
Blackbird.
in the barn? Do we fuel up here, or do we have to go?
No, you gotta buy fuel. You gotta go out and get some.
I can purchase some fuel. I'm sure that I have tons of money.
You do. Would people in Haven potentially recognize you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I kind of want to leave it up to chance.
We'll leave that up to chance. So.
You want me to roll for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want evens? People know me.
Yeah, evens people know you.
Okay, people don't know
you. Perfect. Your disguise.
I would never leave Imperial skies.
This is your first
Except
time.
for right now.
Except for when she's
Except
on the
for
run,
right now when I'm going to become a pirate queen.
Okay, so you can safely go out, and you guys gotta go to your friendly contact and buy some fuel and potentially sell off any goods that you have in the ship.
I think buying fuel will be pretty easy. Like that's
Okay.
like
Just
that's
saying
a dime a dozen.
narratively done.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any cargo. We probably do have a little.
Like, do you only take one job at a time?
Yeah, probably, but I would think we would keep a little bit of like just a backstock of valuable, semi-valuable goods that we could like.
There's
barter
another pirate
with.
queen back there. We just haven't delivered her yet.
So, like, if we need emergency funds that are just not liquid necessarily,
we could sell that explosive fuel.
You could
trade it in for real fuel.
Could sell the explosive. Oh, that sounds fun.
And you also could get your arm fixed.
Yeah, I do need to get my arm fixed. That's probably pretty important. I bet we know a medic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure this has happened before. I think Vance probably has like, he's ex-Imperial, so I'm sure there's other ex-Imperials that he's friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of the regular crowd, maybe, that we
hang out with
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like an ex-Imperial medic who can patch you up. And Snargle, who do you hang out with in Haven? Do you like humans? Where do you go? Are you like?
I like humans. I like Cyrus and Kale and the owl.
Okay, but I mean, like, on Haven, are you like hanging out with the ex-Imperials, or are there other goblin factions that you like have to say hi to?
I don't think there's very many goblins. I think like very few.
Didn't we talk about goblins coming from like one town on one asteroid?
They're from one asteroid. So I think there's like maybe 1,000 total. And maybe like 5 on Haven. 6 when I get there.
Okay. So they're not a problem. So you guys head towards your ex-Imperial buddy's compound. I'm assuming it's just an easy stroll from the barn. And how is it like hush hush, or is it like you can just stroll right in? Is there like a secret passcode? Do you have to vouch for Lady Blackbird and say she's cool?
I have bluff, so I could get her in.
I think it's pretty like blasé. I mean, we're not in Imperial space.
Nope.
So I think what it really is that maybe he is like actually a doctor or a medic, and then they just provide extra services for people that they know. Like, so we could just be coming in as regular customers. But it's like we already know them and know their past.
Okay. I'm going to call this medic Geoff.
Geoff? Joffrey. Okay.
And how do you interact with Geoff, Kale? Is he Scottish too? Where does your accent come from?
My accent?
Yeah, like what planet? Like where are you from?
Kale is obviously an orphan from some planet, was raised on Haven by a group of traders, and the traders had the accent, so he picked it up.
Okay.
A trader clan. They had a plaid design all over their ship. It was their tartan. That's how everyone knew who they were.
Love it.
This is the biggest eyesore, but it worked. They sold good stuff. But Kale wanted more adventure than that, so he became a pirate-ish.
Smuggler.
Rogue. Smuggler.
Okay.
Anyways. I think Kale... I think it's pretty, like... Maybe he wouldn't go to their office. He would, like, go to their house. So, like, wait until after hours. And then kind of just do, like, a friendly call, check up, say hey, see what the news is of the area. And
but also my arm is broken.
But also my arm's broken, and you're just such a good buddy, old pal. Please fix my arm.
Okay. So this would be a refreshment scene, technically.
Okay.
To fix a condition. So you... It's just a good time. It's just you play with a PC, and it has to kind of like narratively.
Who wants to play with me in this space?
I mean, I refreshed, Logan.
I have 7 in my pool, so I get nothing out of it.
Right, you got them back. I also would get nothing out of it.
Okay, well, I'll do it then.
Or it can be a flashback, so you can like stroll in and be, flashback to the first time you met Snargle, or whatever you want.
Oh, wow, I'm sure that was a fun little scene. Yeah, so I think knock on the door, say hi to Geoff. Vance is with us, so they say hello, and then kind of catch up on any of the news in the area. Good point, Yug, except Sarah does a very good Scottish accent, so it would not be watching her try and fail. She would succeed and make me look bad.
Yeah.
And especially good Scottish man accents. So.
Joff. If only Joff was the secret traitor.
One day we may meet the traitor family. And we kind of talked about how we met Snargle, didn't we?
Yeah.
He just wanted to be a pilot.
You landed, like, I don't know, your pilot died and you just
other
landed on
died.
the asteroid.
Oh, yeah.
And Snargle walked on.
We didn't see it from Kale's point of view, though, I guess was my point. Or you could talk about when you and Cyrus became partners. Because you're back with around the ex-Imperials, you know, bring back memories. You see Cyrus across the room talking to his buddies, and you remember.
And I remember. Time. And we flash back to when Kale was younger, a wee lad of, let's say, 18, and he's just Cyrus. Starting his roguish endeavors, and he's been recently captured by the Imperials. And he meets this captain who has started talking to him, and they've hit it off. He's very, despite being a captive, Kale's been schmoozing and trying to get on their good side.
So Cyrus captured you?
Yeah, so Cyrus captured me while I was in the middle.
Is this a metaphor?
Who knows?
We're all about the symbolism here.
But Kale's laying on the charm, and he's kind of, and maybe Cyrus asks him about his accent, and Kale spins a tall tale, and he's like, oh, when I was a wee lad, I found myself all alone on Haven with nowhere to go. And this family found me when I was just begging on the streets, and they took me in, and were a series of traders. And, you know, I was just on my way trying to do some trading when you happened to find me. I don't understand why you've got me all locked up in here. This is no way to trade company. My family would be so disappointed. When you're part of now I'm trying to think of a Scottish name. The McConnell trading family. We meet friends and we give them food and drink. Some whiskey. There's nothing. You Imperials.
Sorry.
Here. And he pulls out a flask and he's like, he takes a swig and he's like, to new friends.
And Cyrus is just like, doesn't even know how to handle this boisterous space Scot. He takes a wig and he goes,
it's the good stuff. It's strong.
Wow. And then
takes it back. I take another swig because I'm gonna need it. And I think though Cyrus at this point had been wanting to get out of the Imperial situation. So I'm thinking this is like when we meet, make friends.
Yeah. And he hears tales of the wide world beyond the Imperial.
Yeah. And I regale him with stories from all the different places the family's been and I've been. And maybe I keep passing him the flask. And I get him drunk and then I escape on my own. But we'll see. We might meet again.
Okay. I love it.
And now that I've sowed the seeds of doubt in his mind.
Yes. Now he's
honor bound to find me again. Because he let a captive go.
He's going to track you down. Cool. Exactly. I love it. I love this backstory. Okay. You are refreshed, my friend.
I'm so refreshed.
You're so refreshed. You're
so many die.
While you were thinking about this, Joff has bound up your hand. He uses Skelobro or whatever they have in
yeah, is there healing magic, I wonder?
Yeah. I probably think there is some kind of accelerant. And Lady Blackbird. Are you here? You're here with us.
Yeah, why not?
Surrounded by many potential beaux.
Yep.
And Cyrus, while he, you see Kale off, having his arm taken care of, you see Cyrus talking to his other ex-compatriots, and Snargle what is Snargle doing?
I think he's probably with Lady Black.
Okay. And Cyrus is probably like introduce Lady Blackbird under her pseudonym. And how does Cyrus treat you? We know that he has a secret passion for you. But how does that play out demonstratively? And how do you feel about it?
Lady Blackbird is down to flirt. DTF.
I say you down to clown.
When DTF means down to flirt.
But a different kind of that acronym.
Okay, is she flirting with everybody or just
No, just Cyrus, because he's like he yeah. I mean, Snargle can get flirted with Snargle once. But she doesn't really care.
Oh.
No, she doesn't really care about the other ex-Imperials here, because they're not like helping. They're not useful. So she's not gonna she'll just, when she gets introduced as her commoner pseudonym, she'll humbly bow before them, just a little bit, curtsy a little bit, and just say pleased to meet you, and kind of play it down. But then if Cyrus is I don't know, maybe Cyrus wants to grab a drink, and she's down to do that.
Yeah, so you guys have all moved, downstairs, and are you, Snargle?
Yeah, Snargle's gonna third wheel this hard.
Snargle just gets in the middle of them.
Doesn't really
Cyrus.
understand. Yeah.
Cyrus.
And Snargle just keeps growing taller.
Inserting myself.
No eye contact can be made. Okay.
I think I might ask Cyrus if he has do you have any contacts in Haven that might be useful to finding where Flint might be? Nearby, yeah?
Oh, yes. We're going to have to talk to the Duke.
The Duke? So exciting. Yes. Who is that?
The Duke, he said, and he rolls his eyes. Is an unfortunately useful character. The Duke.
Kale likes to interject, and so he's like, "Oh, don't tell me we're going to see the Duke. I hate that sod."
When did you get here?
I'm everywhere, Snargle. Now come with me.
Kale can hear from 2 rooms away. Yeah, he's the Duke is a less reputable trader on Haven, but they always have their ear to the ground, and they will be sure to know where we can find out more about Uriah Flint. It might cost us, but they will be the most likely to know who to talk to if it can't be found on Haven.
Fantastic.
Yes. And he was like, you're going to have to be especially careful, Natasha, because the Duke knows many things. And they might be able to, they might remember you. And if Carlo comes calling, you could be...
Oh, do not say that name in my presence.
Why not?
He is a horrid man and should not be spoken of.
He's like, I've sent.
No.
Snargle just like keeps saying Count Carlo.
Yeah, just like
zap you.
Cyrus is like, Snargle, stop that. Leave the lady alone.
She's not a lady. She's a commoner.
He's like, can't you sing her turn to impress her? He like lifts up a heavy object. He's like, and he's like, we just have to wait. I've sent an electronic telegram to the Duke, and we have to wait to hear back for when we can pay a visit. And so he looks over at Kale, and he's like, we're going to have to bring that fuel with us before we talk to the Duke.
For an explosive.
He's like,
explosive.
Not quite yet. So I think as he's talking, as he's explaining, he hears the bleep, the bing of a telegram coming in on his portable.
Yes, a pager.
So convenient.
So convenient. It's, like brass.
Speak of the Duke.
Speak of the Duke. And it's like, come on over, darling. And he's like,
so excited.
And you guys must then proceed to the Duke's compound.
Shall we away?
Lady Blackbird's like, ready. You could probably, you don't have to fly the owl there. You could borrow the your Imperial buddies, like Sky Cruiser or whatever, to hop on down. But that is your next stop.
Cyrus, remind me again why we're bringing this fuel.
And he goes, because we need the Duke never gives anything for free, and we need something to trade with. / we need something to buy the Duke's silence. You can only bring 2 barrels. You don't have to bring all 3.
We only had 2 barrels.
You can only bring 1 barrel. You don't have to bring all 2.
No, I think
Cyrus
Kale
is
is disinclined to trust that the Duke can be bought with silence.
That's fair.
Kale is like,
so what is Kale gonna do about it? Do you have
that
a
is what I
backup
was
plan?
trying to think of. No. Kale doesn't make backup plans.
Hashtag no.
Kale just makes things happen in the moment. I
think Snargle is like the face of this party, so.
Oh,
we need
definitely
some
Snargle's
tough
face.
Negotiations. He's your goblin.
He is ya goblin. And if that doesn't work, Lady Blackbird comes in with a sparky boom.
That's why we need the boom. We need to bring that so that if she can spark it and blow him up if need.
I don't got the boom, but if you bring the
boom, we'll bring both barrels and save one in reserve just in case.
Okay, so y'all get there, and
we're rolling these barrels along.
You're rolling these barrels. I assume you have like a little floating like cart.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
Like push cart. And so I would say Cyrus has met the Duke. Snargle, have you met the Duke?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He just sort of follows Kale and Cyrus.
Kale has definitely met the Duke. Abby, you have not met. Lady Blackbird has not met the Duke.
Lady Blackbird has read fan fiction about the Duke.
That's probably fair.
Heard infamous rumors about
the Duke. So
and
how does is she excited about this
writings.
fan fiction? She's like, I finally get to meet the Duke in the flesh.
Yeah.
It's just all one big adventure to Lady Blackbird. There's no actually.
She wants to make sure that the Duke will live up to their reputation.
Yeah,
and not be disappointing. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. The Duke will live up to Lady Blackbird's imaginings. So, you get to the gates. You see the beautiful compound beyond the gates. And how do you get in? How do you announce yourselves? Do you just walk right in? Do you ring a doorbell? Do the gates open mysteriously as you arrive?
I think they probably just open.
Just open?
Yeah, I think Snargle knows Cyrus is trying to impress Lady Blackbird, so he's gonna make a big show.
He's gonna be like the Foley artist every moment now.
I think you should hit your key for that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good point. Okay.
So I leveled up, so I can spend it on anything.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah?
Bam. I'm gonna take the owl and pilot
Perfect.
it. So now I just get it when I pilot the owl.
Whenever you pilot the owl, you have that tag. Okay. So you walk through the gates mysteriously open, and you hear a disembodied voice coming from, the whatever intercom system is rigged up, and it's like, come on through to the parlor. I'll see you there. Then done.
Kale is checking everything. His eyes are all over, clocking every exit, entrance, people, objects, things to steal.
What does he see?
He sees beautiful gardens. I think there's servants milling about here and there.
Yes, for sure.
In the background. And
they're all in strange livery of some sort. They're all in very elaborate servant costume.
Nothing too suspicious other than the usual machinations of the Duke are apparent.
And what does Kale try to steal? I'm curious. What is he looking for? What is the prime?
I mean, Kale knows the Duke is just a collector of all things. So could be it could be a valuable item, could be like an art piece, could be like gems, jewelry.
Okay, so Kale is going for high budget items.
High budget but small, he knows he can. He's looking to swipe something that's high value per size.
Okay, so you guys stroll in, and Abby.
Or information would be good too.
Lady Blackbird can see that this is a very lavish place, something off of Elysium, but tacky.
Oh.
It would be good, except it's just a little too much of this, that, the other thing.
Wanna be noble.
Wanna be noble. Wanna impress. It's still impressive. You're still whoa, that's really rare. But the taste factor is low.
I would have paired that with something else, not what it is.
Yes, exactly. So many primary colors, and they're all together. So you guys stroll up and you see the Duke lounging in a chaise lounge.
Kale whispers under his breath. It's like, ugh, I hate this man.
This
person.
Ornate clothing, and it's just why have you come to see me, Cyrus? It's been so long since we've talked. I'm always delighted when you're here. And maybe Kale doesn't let Cyrus talk first.
Right, yeah, I think Kale kind of sweeps ahead. Does, I imagine there's, like, a table setting of, like, maybe a little bit of food and some tea or something, and, so Kale is like, "Oh, Duke, it's, so lovely to see you. It's always a great time over here in your lovely little, abode, if you might say. A little small. Have you downsized recently?" And then he's like walking, and he sees there's specifically a plate that like is the Duke's, and the Duke has been eating off of, and he just grabs like a sandwich and just like takes a big bite. Oh, exquisite, I must say. But the quality of the food. You really eat this stuff. I need to wash it down.
He's like,
he hands it to Snargle without even looking, and then pulls out his whiskey and downs some, and then hands it over. Would you like a little? Liven the place up a bit. And Kale's also trying to look to see if there's anything like that he can take off of the Duke himself. That would be worth. Like, does the Duke have some rings or jewelry?
The Duke definitely is wearing an outfit all one color. Like, I'm imagining like royal blue, like velvet, head to toe. So
3 rings on
just
every
the most
finger.
over the top.
Yeah, so he would have
a
like
blue
gold,
velvet beret.
gold. Like, yeah, he's not even dressed to like the time. Like, these are old clothes. These like they're not fashionable. They're like, you know, what people wore 200 years ago, but he somehow had someone make them. Yeah, so he definitely has like rings, belt buckle would be impressive.
Steal his belt buckle.
Relieve him of his pants.
Relieve him of his doubloons. And I would say, yeah, his buttons are probably like fancy
just
gold
pop those
buttons.
off.
Yeah, just
pop, pop, pop.
Pop, pop, pop. So yeah, you're up in the Duke's face, and he's just like, I can see you've been sniffing too many fumes, and it's gone to your head, Kale. And he just ignores, and he's like, he sees Snargle, and he's like, we'll talk about him later. But he turns and he sees Lady Blackbird, and he says, but who is this divine creature before me?
She's no one. She's a commoner.
He's like, I've never seen someone of such exquisite beauty.
Oh, she's just a new shipmate. You know?
Yeah, no, I'll step out from behind Cyrus. And I'll do like a little curtsy again. And I'll be like, it's a pleasure to meet you, Duke. My name is Natasha Siri. And I am trying to get in contact with the Pirate King Uriah Flint.
And he says, oh.
But commoner as I am, it's so difficult.
Okay, you're going to have to roll.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
This is to convince him. And,
is he a noble?
No, he's a fake noble.
Okay.
You don't
He's new money.
He's new money.
No taste.
No taste. But a flair for drama.
I'll show.
What's the difficulty?
I'm gonna say 4. I'm just giving everyone straight 4s.
4.
Okay,
4.
I'm gonna roll cunning.
Okay.
With deception, misdirection, disguise.
How are you misdirecting him?
I'm telling him that I'm a commoner. Okay. And that's why it's hard
Look
for
over
me
there,
to
I'm
find
a
the
commoner.
pirate.
I'll accept it.
You need help?
I mean, you can help me if you want. I have a 7 pool, though, so I should be okay.
Okay, you're fine.
It's Abby.
4 difficulty?
4. 4, darling.
5. I'll spend 4 pool. I have 9 die.
Really want to succeed.
I do really want to succeed.
You really don't.
Succeed.
This is so great. I love it so much. And the Duke is just like swirling his brandy glass or whatever he has in his hand. And he's like, I haven't seen anyone curtsy so prettily to me since I had been on Elysium.
I wish I could have seen Elysium.
She just like maintains the lie. She like knows he doesn't believe her, and he's like, you remind me of a certain. I can't quite remember, but that face, so iconic. There's something about it. He's like, yes. Okay, dear, I'll believe you for now, but don't try and fool an old man like me. I know there's more to your story than being a commoner. But you want to meet Uriah Flint, you say? I might know something for an acceptable price.
Snargle is going to hop in his lap. Like, if I imagine he's like Santa at the mall and Snargle just like sits in his lap.
To what end?
I
love it.
To one, sort of like get his, I don't know, I'm trying to do quite a few things. Get his attention off of Lady Blackbird.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
2,
it's just a matter of time before he'll realize that she looks like the Blackbirds.
Yeah. 2, I want to, I mean, I guess I want to also do what she was doing, but differently. But I guess I don't want to do that in this role. Because really, I want to get the attention off of her. And then also when I'm hopping up, I want to, like, grab and, like, pull a couple of his shirt buttons off.
Everybody just taking things off of the Duke. Okay. Yeah, roll 3.
3?
I think it's going to be fairly... Okay, I'll give you 2. I mean, I don't think he has anything.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll do Goblin. So I can sit in his lap.
And Goblin lap sit.
Classic
engage.
Goblin strat.
Teeth and claws, because I clawed the button off.
Okay.
I tumbled on up to him.
You tumbled on up. You reverse tumbled. Okay.
And I was really quick.
Okay.
5. And you said 2?
2.
Oh, I can do.
He's not expecting physical attack.
3.
Ah, perfect. Okay. What happened?
You're talking to him and he was like mid-sentence, and then I think Snargle's like on one of the tables, like sort of grabbing food, and then he just hops and like lands on the Duke's lap and like grabs his shirt to hang on when he rips off the buttons.
Does he tear the shirt?
No, I don't think so. I don't want him to know
Okay.
I took the buttons. I want to do it like slyly.
Okay.
And then just
so
land on
I imagine the Duke is just like knee jerk, like just like you land, you tear off the buttons, and he's just like looks and he's like, get off of me, you fell beast, and like knees you off. Off of him.
I'll hold on
the
to him then.
Launch.
I'll hold on to him. Maybe like take a couple more buttons. And then I guess if he wants to toss me off, that's fine. That's rude.
He's pretty rude.
Alright, he tosses you off and Kale takes over. And I think maybe that kind of gets the Duke like up. Like he kind of like has to
he's
dust himself off a little
He's
bit.
standing up. He is now flushed with irritation.
Of course. And Kale just capitalizes on that, and he's gonna put his arm around the Duke, friendly as ever, and start leading him over to these barrels that we've brought. And Kale, ever the trade salesman, says, "Oh, well, a good price, you say? We have something unique you won't find anywhere except Imperial skies, and even there, you don't know where you'll find it. We happened across 2 barrels of a very fine vintage of fuel. So, and all while Kale is doing this, he has to have a locket of some kind, I imagine. Something.
Like a necklace, like a
like something around his neck.
Or he could have a pocket watch.
Or a pocket watch. Yeah, totally. I want to be like distracting with one hand and with the other hand like plucking things just off of his body.
Okay. Roll. I'll let you do the sales pitch with no roll, but you have to roll for picking his pocket.
Okay, so 1 base. Burglar. Can we do sneak? Because I'm being sneaky about it. I want to do quiet, but I'm technically talking through this whole thing.
Yes, you can do sneak.
Dexterous.
Yes.
Sneak, dexterous. Perceptive, because I've been on the lookout this whole time for valuables.
And you know where his valuables are on his body, I'm assuming.
Right. I mean, this has probably happened before.
It's like a long game that you and the Duke play. Like you both try to one up each other.
He can't admit that I've been stealing from him.
No.
So he knows not to wear his nicest stuff, maybe, except for in the really hard to get spots. And so I'm always just trying to take more and more things off of him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 1 for base, burglar, sneak, dexterous, perceptive, hide, because I think I'm just hiding them onto my body real fast, which we've already talked about. I have lots of pockets just hidden everywhere.
Yeah, because of your secret of concealment.
Because of my secret of concealment, so that's 6.
I want to help you as well. I'm gonna walk over these barrels and Vanna White these barrels.
Vanna White the barrels as a further distraction. I will take it.
Sure, you can help.
Can I have helped by putting little holes when I was grabbing him?
He's a little disheveled, so I'm also pretend fixing. I'm fixing his vest and stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you a die for that.
Okay, so I think I'm at 9 or 8. Burglar, sneak, hide, dexterous.
Did I give you difficulty yet? No.
You didn't.
I'll
2
say
helps.
3.
So I'm at 9 or 8 for a 3. I'll do 2. I'll throw in 2 because I got refreshed. So I'll do 10. No, I'll do 11. Can I get a critical effect for doubling the difficulty?
Sure. Yeah. What do you want that critical effect to be?
I want that to be that I take something he wasn't expecting me to find, and it's particularly valuable, so that I can use it to barter against him again if need be. Okay. So if we meet him in the future, I can dangle it and be like, "Oh, would you like this back?"
Great.
Then don't open your grubby little mouth. And can I hit my key for putting myself in danger?
Yes.
For this?
You can get 2. Miss Lady Blackbird, roll just a 1d evens yes, odds no for does he recognize you?
Odds.
No, he still doesn't know who you are. Okay, but it's gonna bug him. So you're Vanna White, and he's half looking at the field, but half looking at you and being like, I know I've seen you somewhere before. And the blackmailer in him is...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
Did I get in danger because of my key that I'm disguised passing myself as a commoner?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Did I do something dangerous and reckless when I threw myself onto his lap?
Now we're just bargaining for XP.
Now the XP truly comes out. Okay, so the Duke sees Kale. You manage to he's so irritated by you guys just being total heathens and making fun of his food and jumping on his lap. So he doesn't see himself being pickpocketed, but he does want to buy the fuel in exchange for his contact information on Uriah Flint. And I think he'll say something. He'll be like, oh, I've only heard about such new innovations. Of course, I can always find a use for this Kale. You've really outdone yourself this time. It might just be worth, giving you the contact who can lead you to Uriah Flint. He's like, but you can't mention my name when you go to see them.
Of course not. I'm offended. We are the quietest and most trustworthy of business partners available.
He's like, I can't give you a name, but I can give you a location.
I'll write them out.
Yeah, and he's like, and you'll have to visit Nightport. And he looks over at Cyrus significantly. And he's like, I know Nightport is not the most welcoming to you, Mr. Vance. But if you must find Uriah Flint, you have to go to Nightport. And he's like, great, our meeting is over. Yes, Logan?
Snargle looks significantly fatter at the end of this.
Did he eat all of the noms?
No, all of the food is still on the table.
Okay. But did he eat the buttons?
He's just enlarged himself unconsciously.
He's just made himself
I've
big.
actually made myself very, very, very thin, and then I've just shoved every plate and utensil that was on the table into my clothes, and it's just filling full. I'm sort of jangling too.
Why?
A little.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
I'm sure that they're very nice cutlery, and I know that Cyrus would want them.
All for the sake of Cyrus.
This will spruce up the owl so much to have this lovely
a whole
cutlery.
dining set.
A fine china set.
Cyrus can woo Lady Blackbird over a romantic dinner on the owl. Okay, perfect. So I think the Duke is like, your audience with him is done. He's like, I will send you the information you need and the contact info. Be gone. I have further things to take care of. And he takes the barrels, and you kind of see him chuckling to himself, and he's like,
and then Snargle chuckles and walks out of the room.
It jingles. He just jingles in the background.
He's just, and you're gone.
Kale is just admiring all of his new goods as he
shinies.
Walks out. Yeah.
What does Kale do with the things he steals? Does he sell them or does he keep them?
A mixture of both. It depends on if it's depends on need. He keeps some around as trophies, and they're kind of like memories, and others he just sells, and he knows he can always sell some of the other ones if need arises, which I'm sure has happened before. So it's like partially a game, partially he always wants money. And he's he was an orphan, and the traders were successful, but they weren't like. It's always a little hit and miss. You never know when business is gonna fall. So it's also like a stockpiling, I think, of like having a
cache.
Yeah, a safety cache just in case.
All right, so you guys have a few hours on Haven before the Duke, informs you of your next destination on Nightboard. Is there anything that you want to do?
I give Kale the buttons, and then I lift up my shirt, and all the cutlery falls out. And I also give that to him.
And breaks on the floor.
No, it's probably nice and like silverware or something like that.
It is totally silver, yeah.
Silver plated something else.
It's just like in the owl, a pile of, silverware. It's just a mound. And Lady Blackbird, do you want to do anything on Haven? You've never been to a free world, so I'm curious if she would like to do anything while she's there.
Kale would offer to take her sightseeing.
Oh, sightseeing would be good.
Kale would be like, all right, we have a couple hours left, and our lucky new crewmate has never had a night out in Haven. Sounds like we need to give her a good way to remember her first visit. And Kale is like, gives you a wink and has a bit of a maniacal look in his eye. And this is totally going to be fun/hazing.
Snargle winks back.
Snargle, how many times do I have to tell you I'm not winking at you, Mimade?
I know.
It's just fun. Okay, so where do you go to haze Lady Blackbird? And Lady Blackbird, are you on board?
I'm on board.
Okay. You have to get off board if we're going.
I am off board.
Off board.
On board.
I think Kale just takes her. Like Vance wants to take her to the nice places, and Kale wants to take her to the seediest bars ever. Like the seediest places at all possible. And like
bar
to, like illegal like
getting,
fight rings
fancy martinis
and like gambling and like it's supposed to be an hour, but like a couple hours, but it might end up being we just stay up the whole night and and things get out of hand.
Perfect.
Partially out of hand.
Oh,
they're always in hand.
You're gonna have to roll for being hazing host.
For having fun.
Yeah.
Hazing.
Okay, let's use tricky. Tricky. I'll be quick because Kale is just constantly like moving them back and forth to new places and is on the lookout for any trouble.
Okay,
a little bit of dirty fighting because of course we break out into a fist fight at least halfway through. Kale, Vance, and some other people get into a shouting match and have a quick dirty little fight.
You're like, whatever you do, don't zap someone.
Escape because then we have to run away after we slowly start losing that fight because more people get involved. And then, let's say, how do we feel about this? We visit a street circus, and Kale has a hidden history as a circus performer, and he uses tumbler and contortionist and joins into the group, joins the show. One time he went undercover. When he was
do you
down
think
on his
Snargle
luck.
helps with that because he's also a natural?
Why don't we just create our own?
We start performing in the streets.
Sure, I'll let you do it for fun.
All right, I did all of tricky then. So you never gave me a difficulty.
I said 3.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear. Okay, so base 1.
I know.
Tricky, quick, dirty fighting, tumbler, escape, contortionist. That's 7.
I'll help.
I'm gonna help you
Yeah.
by being the best trapeze artist anybody could ever want.
Okay, 2 helps.
I'll help by walking the tightrope, and then when I fall, I glide to the floor to much applause.
If you turn it into a glide routine?
Yeah.
Excellent.
He is the most elegant glider
We have
there is.
a back out plan if ever we need to. So we're at 9. I think that's good enough.
Okay.
5 successes.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
You don't get a crit, but you do succeed. So you guys spend a joyful night carousing. A raucous night carousing through the streets of Haven. And you stumble back in the morning, but not before you pass, kind of like, I'm thinking almost like a bulletin board. You see like in towns where they used to have like notices posted, and you can see, like this person's wanted or this person is missing. And you see on the like bulletin board on the side street, Count Carlo, missing countess. And there is a illustration of Lady B in her finery.
I'm gonna go up to this sign. I'm gonna etch out missing, and I'm gonna write ditched by.
And I think you guys are like drunk enough to like not really, like care too much about it.
No, Kale is excited. Kale is like, look, and they're actually trying to find us. Oh, what a good chase. We'll be fine.
What a
And
good chase.
you get back on the owl. You have the coordinates to
Nice,
go to
nice.
Nightport.
All right. Do we want to take a
and
quick 10-minute break before we take
We
off
should
in
take
our
a quick
Futurama
10-minute
bar?
break.
It's a
Okay.
quick break of undetermined time because there's no timer.
A quick break
I'll
of
keep
10
track of
minutes.
it.
Sometimes it's a wee bit longer, but you never know.
Okay.
And we're back. Thanks, Logan. I feel like a news anchor every time. And we're back. So,
Back with tonight's news.
tonight's news. The crew is back on the owl, slightly drunk. Count Carlo has issued a missing countess.
Well, I would like to note that I've also... Is his face on this flyer?
It can be. Did you draw on it?
Yeah, I'm going to draw
he
his
just wants
face.
his
I'm
face
going to
up
make
there.
him like...
What does Count Carlo
You don't
look
know
like
this man.
pre-drawing on his face?
He's like middle-aged rich man.
Okay.
That's like semi-balding,
Okay.
but very rich.
But very, very rich. Got it. So you have defaced the flyer that you saw, the announcement that you saw, but who knows how many more there are across
It was just
the
that
wild
one.
blue. It was just one.
That one.
And so you guys have the coordinates and you can take off. Is there something else you want to do?
I'm gonna be sitting in the pilot seat when you get in the...
You see that the Duke has given you a coordinates and a passcode for like when you get there. But
Snargle, where do I punch these coordinates in?
Snargle just slowly turns more and more purple.
If you actually want to do that, Abby, I would make you roll for it.
Okay, yeah, please.
Roll 2.
Kale's watching in amusement as Snargle doesn't do anything.
2?
Yeah.
Can I use Imperial Noble Educated Science?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 4 dice. And 1 pool. For 5 dice.
Oh, rolling high.
Hey!
There you go.
She got there. Slowly but surely, she got the coordinates in. And now maybe feels really proud of herself.
She helped fly the ship.
She did.
We'll
helped
promote
fly the
her
ship.
to captain at this rate.
No!
Snargle.
No!
Will replace ya,
No!
my wee friend. I think she's a natural.
Snargle, have
The
you
only thing
flown?
she's natural is a hussy. Now get out of my spot.
I'll get out of your seat.
This coming from the goblin that just stole cutlery so you could have nice romantic dinners.
I just want Kale to be happy.
I
What was it? What did Snargle? You were asking if I've flown what?
To Nightport before.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's not on my
What's-
list, but I think I've flown there once or twice. I'm just not an expert.
Perfect. I'm gonna say that this is now a 5 difficulty because the Duke has seen the flyer and recognized our dear Lady Blackbird and has let slip that she is on the owl for those who might be interested in trying to reappropriate her and give her to Count Carlo.
No problem. No problem.
Nobody can reappropriate me.
Count Carlo thinks he can.
Okay, so I will pilot, evasion, navigation, maps because we have a coordinate,
Sure.
the owl,
The owl, yes.
I will take 1 help from Lady Blackbird for typing in the coordinates.
Okay.
I'll offer you help by managing the engines.
Perfect. And wait, so that's 8. Then I'll spend 5 from my pool and roll 12.
Jeez.
Okay.
5 or 4 from your pool, or 5?
5.
So that'd be 13.
Yes. You're not wrong.
No.
So close.
Oh my gosh.
So close.
With 13 rolls too. Wow.
So
You get all those die back.
you do get all those die plus 1.
And 1 for failing.
And you guys get your helping die back.
I don't even think I marked it.
Kale! You cheater, you. Okay.
It's the first time.
So, I think you guys take off. You leave enough of the atmosphere to, you clear Haven just fine. But I think midway through, there's all sorts of unsavory characters on their way to and from Nightport. And midway through, you start to notice that there is 1 or 2 ships following you. Not sure which one's which, but there's definitely somebody on your tail.
Do I mark hunted as a condition then? Okay.
on the ship.
I think I'm in the cockpit with you, like, trying to learn the controls. I point to this little, like, sensor thing, and there's, like, 2 bleeping red dots behind us. It's like, what is that? That looks interesting.
He, like, looks at it, he's like, that's nothing. And he, like, grabs, like, a little lever, and he pulls it, and, like, these mirrors pop out from the side so we can, like, look behind us.
It's like blind spot mirrors.
Yeah. And then he gets on the intercom, he says, Kale, we need more fuel. They're coming hot on our tail.
All right, Kale. How do
Snargle.
you react? Yeah.
The last 2 times I've let you pilot the ship and you're gotten us into trouble, both of them.
Don't blame me, it's Cyrus's girlfriend.
I think I've hopped down from, like, the desk behind Snargle that I was just sitting on, like, learning these, and I'm running down toward Kale.
Scurry.
Run.
Alright, Snargle. I think our options are... what's the lower gases called?
The lower depths.
Alright. Dive into the lower depths and do some evasive maneuvers. Or we could...
we whip around and we give these hussies some old metal bullets.
No! The old girl's not meant for fighting. She's a lover, not a fighter. I know! But we shouldn't be using it.
Okay.
Got these guns!
Unless Lady Blackbird feels like whipping out some lightning real fast for us.
Snargles?
We've got an electric gun now. We've got an arc gun.
I don't know. Lady Blackbird, would you have to be outside to use lightning?
Definitely.
Just for reference, yeah. She can't do it from, like, inside the ship. Okay, good.
Just open the emergency
I have
escape
fly
hatch.
now, so I can just fly out and destroy it.
Why don't you just fly to... What's his face, then?
Snargle is all about helping people, but not about helping you. Okay, so what do you guys do?
Yeah, let me boost it. I can boost it.
How?
These are her boosting hands.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to try.
Alright, we'll do
Kale,
some
how do you feel
electric
about
overdrive, but I don't like it. It's dangerous.
Wait, Kale, roll a d6 for me to determine what Snargle's gonna do.
Why am I rolling this?
Because then I can blame you if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Alright, sure, whatever, I'll take the blame.
Okay, so it's gonna be odd if Snargle just tried to evade. And so it's even. You are talking to her and you notice the ship, like, turning very heavily.
Snargle, so help me if you're going to those ships. I will personally boot you off the side and into the lower depths.
You just. A little hatch opens on the side. Perfect sized for your hand to reach out.
Okay, so we are now facing the 2 ships that are following you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, you got some tricks, right? We can do this together.
We're all in this together.
Tricks?
Tricks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You hear over, kind of like on they put like a loud broadcast frequency that's like, hand over Lady Blackbird or prepare to be boarded.
No, Lady Blackbird, hear me, Lord.
Peasants. There's no ladies on this ship.
Nemenon!
You said there were two of them?
There's two ships.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot.
I'm gonna say they're smaller than your ship,
Okay.
but they are working in tandem.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot like the engine or the wings off of one of them so that it like spirals behind, and there's just one chasing us.
Okay.
I was like, do you have fighter? Like, I do not have ship weapons.
So technically, fight back when ambush is a level 5 difficulty. So this is not being mean. This is just what they say.
No, that's fine.
Considered extreme.
Okay,
5.
fight back when ambushed. Okay, so Sky Sailor, gunnery, aim, pirates. Are these pirates?
They're bounty hunters.
Okay.
Yeah, what does the pirates tag mean? Does it mean you are a pirate? Or does it mean you're good
He
against
knows
pirates?
pirate tricks.
Yeah.
Okay,
He knows
sure.
all the-
I'll let
he
you
knows-
count it.
Okay.
Piratical lore.
Are they from the Free Havens? Or are they from the Free Worlds?
Sure.
Are they from Haven?
No.
Okay.
I'll help.
Observation? Like I can see them and can track where their weakness is, so I can shoot out their engine without destroying their ship.
Sure.
Okay. You gonna help me?
Mm-hmm.
Just feed the gun with just all of our ammo.
Yeah, I'm using mechanic, and I'm just making sure everything's running smoothly.
Perfect. So that is 8, and I will spend 6. So 14.
Sweet.
Wow, just barely.
So you take
Good
out
job.
one ship.
Yes.
You shoot. You were saying you're shooting the wings or the engine. What was it?
Yeah. So we like whip around and we're facing them, and then I feel like Kale's like, oh god, I gotta load that gun. He just like starts feeding in the bullets right as
Kale-
Snargle starts
yeah.
like shooting them.
Knows that Snargle's general style is fill the air with bullets.
Precisely.
Just speed reloading. the
Mhm.
weapon.
An ocean of bullets.
Yes.
And you just like, it's like a burst of bullets, and then you just like hear some cackling over the intercom, and then like more bullets get fired, and then you like look outside, and one of the ships is like smoking from the back, like spiraling, and they like fall backwards, and it's just one more ship chasing
Okay.
us.
Is general space breathable?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You'd have to wear a mask in the lower depths, but
Yeah. Okay.
I anticipate that I mean, if you're going at speed, I'm assuming, it would be like holding onto an airplane.
Yeah. I'm gonna calm Snargle and be like, Snargle, open the back hatch, please. Thank you.
Just open. Some stuff
There you
flies
go.
out, and Kale has
She's
to like grab
finally,
it.
No, yeah, Kale's like
Finally, she's
Kale
gonna
kills
jump
the
off.
engine on his side and is like, Snargle, hang a hard right, and we'll take it out from down here.
You all get like slammed into the left wall, as this is the hardest right you've ever experienced.
It's hard, but it gets that hangar bay door aimed right and pretty at the last one coming.
Okay. I'm not gonna fly out. I'm gonna stay on the ship, but I'm gonna channel this like wind tornado and have a storm like above it. So there's like electricity crackling through this tornado. And catch the ship in it so it just spirals out of control, similar to what Snargle did.
Okay, perfect. I'm also going to say that's a 5. It's only 5.
That's fine. Yeah. Fair. I'm gonna start with 1, Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Channeling, Stormblood, Wind, Lightning.
Perfect.
I will help with
7.
my petty magic.
I do want to know how you're using your blood during this, just for narrative's sake.
She was slammed into the wall, now she has a bloody nose. It's like, oh, perfect.
Throw that out there real fast.
I think maybe I've slammed against the wall and there's like a bloody nose or something. I like pick that blood up and that's how I start the tornado, and then I can like send it out.
You just like expanded tornado.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was I at?
I think you were 7, plus Sean said he would help.
Yeah, 8. And it's a 5 difficulty.
See.
I'll spend 5 pool. Yep. And that'll get me to 13. Come on.
Big money.
Yeah.
8 successes. Nice.
Nice. All right, what happens?
This ship gets caught in my blood storm rage tornado.
Does the is it like taken
maybe
apart?
It's like the tornado. Yeah, it's pulled apart and then like the pieces are shot down into the acidic underbelly of the atmosphere.
Oh, so you just like killed those people. Okay.
They're very dead now.
They're very, very dead. Roll 1d6, Lady Blackbird.
Ooh.
Evens, yes. Odds, no. Okay, you guys looked out. There is no sky-squid going to be summoned by your rage. By the disturbance in the lower depths. Okay, you are free of these bounty hunters for now, but I would say getting into Nightport is now a 5 because you've made secretly getting into Nightport.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, what?
Can I hit my demonstrate your superiority key?
Yes, you can.
Just demolish someone.
You and Uriah Flint are seeming like a better match minute by minute.
Can I hit my key of not wanting to see anybody suffer, so I didn't kill the people on that other ship?
Yeah. You kind-hearted goblin, you. How do you two feel about seeing Lady Blackbird just unleash hell?
I didn't. I had banked around,
happy.
And she was facing backwards, and I was forward, so I didn't even see it.
Okay, so Snargle totally missed it. Kale, how do you feel? What do you say to Lady Blackbird after that happens?
I think he's a little snippy and is kind of like, well, I would have thought a noblewoman could muster a little more finesse, but it did get the job done. And then he kind of walks back to the engine to get it restarted.
He's just upset because he...
A little.
A little.
I can get spellcaster and channeling too.
I can eventually. Okay, so you guys are clear, and you can roll again to get to your night coordinates.
How about in the meantime, I put the old girl on autopilot and, I don't know, walk around a bit, maybe find Lady Blackbird.
Oh yeah, find me, that's good.
Kale could use a refresh too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you want to refresh?
Boy, do I need to, yeah.
Do you guys all want to refresh together at like a group scene?
Yeah,
group scene.
Snargle comes on the intercom. Attention crew, report to the flight deck. You have a very special event. Snargle of it out. And on the flight deck, he set up all of the cutlery. Just a perfect layout. There's no food.
Snargle, you've really outdone yourself.
Thanks. I have a fine touch.
I think maybe this has happened before, where Snargle will just set out stuff, but not do any of the like actual accoutrement or like main meals. Like he does half of it without doing the whole thing. So Kale's kind of already wandering towards the kitchen, trying to see what we have to eat, maybe to throw on this nice cutlery that Snargle has laid out for us.
Do you also want to show what you got from the Duke?
Oh, sure, yeah. Maybe he scrounges up some food and then lays out his hoard into the middle of the table. He says, "Well, that nasty man may have ratted us out to the authorities, but I think we've acquired maybe a few artifacts of worth off of him," and kind of gives a nod to Snargle and says, "Thank you, of course, Snargle, for your contribution of the gold buttons.
Do you put
Very classy.
the pocket watch out?
I think, yeah, it's all in the middle. So it's the buttons. He snagged a few rings off of one of his hands and kind of holds them up, and maybe he's not really offering them to anyone because they're his now.
I think Snargle's like, "You've really outdone yourself," and he like reaches towards the pocket watch, or, like past it, and like picks up something that's not worth anything, like I don't know, some pocket fuzz that came out with the watch. He said,
a little bit like a little swatch of cloth that was in a pocket, and then Kale pulls up the pocket watch and is like, "And I think the greatest bounty that we've got is this very fine gold pocket watch," and kind of clicks it open, and it's, I guess, sort of just a really nice mechanical wonder, almost. Keeps the time of day, the date, all sorts of fancy things. And maybe there's some like hidden, I don't know, everything.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably some hidden compartment that you don't know about yet.
Kale's hasn't found it, but he knows he's gonna dig to try and see if he can find like a hidden compartment or special mechanisms to see what this watch really is about. And then he all grabs it and puts it back in his respective pockets.
So what'd you steal?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't steal anything. I was the distraction for you all.
That's
an important role.
Every time one visits the Duke, they must steal something. Me and Snargle were trying to show you how it's done.
It's what you do.
I will know for next time. You two were so sneaky, I didn't even see you. Did not get the memo.
You see, when I jumped on his lap and I landed on his lap, that's when I stole my things.
Oh, wow.
So you just jump and land on his lap next time and then steal.
Okay. Yeah.
Lady Blackbird, are you like having fun on this trip? I'm just curious.
Yes.
She better be. I rolled to take her out for a night on the town in Haven.
Having a blast. The freedom of the free world at my fingertips.
Living like a real person instead of a noble.
So what do you
Jason asked in the ship.
Answer that question. Tell us this tale of Count Carlo.
So Count Carlo, yes. I guess, Sarah, you and I talked about this, but that was
We
it.
did, yeah, but they didn't. They haven't heard
Yeah,
it.
so Count Carlo was an arranged marriage set up by Lady Blackbird's parents. And Count Carlo, very rich, very snobby, very boring. So Lady Blackbird decided she didn't want that for herself. So she arranged this escape plan with the owl for the night of her wedding and ditched him at the altar. To make a statement.
Perfect. That is the kind of panache that Kale appreciates. The trauma.
Which he apparently is taking it to mean that you guys are already married because all the flyers say missing countess as though you are already been married. He was like, she was basically there.
Married when she wasn't even there. She was there for most of the lead up. That's the important part.
What did you say? He was old. He was rich, boring, and what?
Rich, boring, old,
balding.
Can I introduce you to Kale?
Snobby.
He's the opposite of all of those. He's spry, poor, eventful, and he's got hair until he loses it in the engine again.
Snargle, I'm going to take that as a compliment for now. I'm poor only in theory. And my wealth is just around the corner. We've talked about this.
If it's around the corner, you should just go get it, because you just... It's been a while. I mean, you're stealing buttons.
The metaphors, Snargle. I've been trying to teach you the metaphors. They go over his head. It's taken a long time to get him where he's at.
Whose head do they go? He's gonna, like, make himself taller than you? Like, go over my head now.
Kale goes back to the food. Shaking his head, chuckling.
Well, if you don't want this one, that one also likes you. Right? He's, like, pointing across the room to Cyrus.
Cyrus is like, oh! He just starts coughing. He's like, I don't know what you mean, Snargle.
He checks a couple of the boxes. He's not, he's old. He's a little boring.
Mm-hmm.
He's also poor.
Okay.
But he also has hair. So it's an improvement, I guess. But, you know, Snargle is young, rich, full head of hair. His hair's gonna grow. And very, very fun.
Yeah, how do goblins find humans attractive?
No.
He just feels the need to fit in with.
Yeah, he's like, if all the boys like her, then Snargle wants in on this.
He's like, you're not cute, but I also need to compete on the same level as everyone else.
Thank you for outlining my options.
Okay, A, B, or C?
I will withhold my decision.
Okay, but I'm a hot commodity.
That's a goblin women, Snargle.
Perfect. Everyone laughed. I'm gonna...
Actually, Snargle, I think you and I have a date by the cargo hold and an immediate exit for turning around and getting into a battle that I specifically told you not to. So why don't we go and have a conversation and we can leave these two to talk. And he kind of, you say, like, grabs you by the scruff of your neck and starts dragging you out, berating you.
I imagine Cyrus...
I'm gonna follow you guys.
Oh, dang.
I'm just leaving
Cyrus just looks at his plate and his, like, food, and he's like...
Sad boy.
Sad boy. Cyrus. Sad Cyrus is sad. Okay. What do you talk about?
I don't know why you're upset. It was fine.
Snargle, you need to trust my experience with the owl. I've been with her longer than you. She's not really made for combat. We were lucky those were small ships. And we have apparently a master spellcaster on our side.
Wait, did you get good at magic?
No, the lady. Anyways, Kale was BT Dubs trying to wingman for his bro. So I think I definitely deserve hitting my key of fraternity.
You can click your key of fraternity even though you failed.
That was not my fault. That was the other player's fault.
It wasn't your fault. It's just Lady Blackbird cares not for Cyrus.
Wait, did I do something cool and reckless when I whipped around and shot that thing out of the sky like it was no big deal?
Sure. You rolled for it though, so I don't know if that was.
Didn't you get a key? Didn't you already hit your key for being harmless?
That was because I didn't destroy their ship. Okay, then.
That is.
So how can you get both?
I don't think you. Yeah,
because it was dangerous and compassionate.
It was dangerous compassion.
Snargle in 2 words: dangerously compassionate. I'm gonna say hold off on hitting that key. You're gonna have plenty of opportunity to do it again. So okay, you guys are refreshed.
So I can uncheck hunted and then also go back up to 7. Is that right?
You can only do one of those 2 things.
What's the point of what does a condition do?
It's just narratively.
Yeah, nothing mechanically.
Perfect.
Influential. You're like perfect. Can't ignore.
It looks like you can do both. It says you can refresh your pool back to 7 by having a refreshment scene with another character. You may also remove a condition or regain the use of a secret, depending on the details of the scene. If not, I broke the rules last time we had one because I did both.
Oh. Well, sure. This is only a 4-shot, so.
Okay, perfect. I'm
not keen.
I'll do the ore, and I'll regain the use of Lucky Break.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Because I need it.
Lady Blackbird, did you have anything besides your pool to refresh?
No, I haven't used my secrets.
Alrighty then. Now you guys can re-roll to land in Nightport. It's a 5.
Difficulty 5.
Okay. Pilot.
Sure.
The owl.
Pilot the owl, correct.
Navigation.
Yeah.
Maps.
Yeah.
Oh, the astounding silence.
Well, we're not being chased, so I don't know if a lot of them apply anymore.
You could.
We're still being chased.
You're still narratively. There are people.
Okay,
who
evasion.
are looking for you.
I am hunted
because we're trying to be evasive.
Yeah.
Logan, the key is keep pushing until she says no.
Yeah. Okay. Steady.
Questionable.
A Snargle known for his steady hand at the wheel.
Questionable. I'm going to say no.
Daring.
You'd have to say how you're being daring.
I'm daring to live bold.
No.
Tricky flying.
I'll give you that. That's part of evasion.
Oh, okay. Let me push a little more maneuvering. Did I already say that one?
One or the other,
okay,
yeah.
So 7. And then I'll use 7 from my pool and roll 14 die.
I'll help you if you want.
How are you gonna help?
Gonna be your co-pilot.
She's gonna put the coordinates in again.
She's really practicing that technique. I'll help too with the engines.
The gun and the navigation system, it's either or. So when I turned on this one, we had to retype. You're gonna help as well?
Yeah, with the engine.
Okay.
16 die.
7 successes.
Woohoo!
And then I'll get all them back, so I'm at 7 still.
All right. So you guys swoop on into Nightport, and you see that these coordinates have taken you to a part of Nightport that you have never been before, and in fact is part of the seediest realms of Nightport. And as you land, you can see, typical kind of landing pad on top of building situation. So I'm assuming like everything in Nightport is kind of like various shanties and like tall buildings, lots of little buildings in between, just kind of like
just a rambling mass of construction and
like where there's space, some wooden structure has been built upon. And so the coordinates have taken you to like a landing pad on top of one of the sturdier looking buildings, maybe one of the few made out of stone. So you can land safely on top. And as you land and you look over at the kind of like lean out to see what you've landed on, you can see, all of the people roaming the streets, and you look over and you see that you have landed on the roof of one of Nightport's most notorious and nefarious bordellos. And you must go in and use your contact password to get in touch with your contact with Uriah Flint. And so I think we can probably leave it there for tonight.
Ooh, I love the cliffhanger.
And start out next session.
Why is Uriah Flint associated with a bordello? I don't like it.
Girl, he a pirate. What you think?
These are his other pirate queens.
Yeah, Lady Blackbird.
She's gonna shape him up real fast.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
It's okay. He doesn't know what he wants yet.
Good answer.
You guys have been apart for 6 years, so
yeah.
You're gonna show up and you're gonna be like, "Didn't I destroy your planet? What are you doing here?"
What a coincidence!
What a coinkadink. And yeah, so you guys can keep track of your XP if you already haven't. And to note, in order to find Uriah for the next session, you will have to obtain the key in order to know where to fly within the remnants. So just to think about with your XP expenditure.
Well, if you're the navigator now, maybe you should take that key.
All right. Well, and next week,
no Tales from the Loop.
Yeah.
Because I will be AFK. But them three might do something. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's to be
It's
decided.
very up in the air, unfortunately. So we'll talk about it and definitely keep track of our Twitter because that's where we'll post any updates. Usually, I don't know. We might take a break. We might just play some games for a little bit. Maybe we might try and do some one-shot scenes or something.
If you have any preferences, let us know.
Yeah, it's an open book, open night. It's open night, Mike.
That'll be open true for the next two, the next 2 Tales from the Loop nights. So you have 2 weeks without me to figure out something.
Unfortunately, yes, we have a long break from Tales from the Loop that we enjoy very much. But
just leave you on the dead body cliffhangers.
What are we gonna do without Borge for 2 weeks?
I know.
I know.
Borge.
I'm gonna have to remember that accent for a month. It's impossible.
I'll make you a highlight on Twitch and you can listen to it and it'll be fine.
I'll just make it up again.
Every time Logan has to re-listen to himself so he can remember what it is. Perfect. So we'll figure something out. Who knows what it's gonna be? It's gonna be great. But we should be fine with Lady Blackbird.
Yeah. Should be keeping up with Lady Blackbird.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.